So, once upon a time, there began a little fantasy show called Game of Thrones. I don't know, I think it's Spanish. This show took the world by storm and has now become an international phenomenon, and the world and his wife and all his many mistresses have been talking about it, especially since the end of Season 8. So, why am I making a video on it? Because I need them internet points, baby! There's nothing in this video that probably hasn't already been said, but I'm doing it anyway because it's therapeutic for me, and also, why the fuck not? Everybody else is doing it, I might as well cash in on it, right? So I've split this video into several different parts, and I'll be talking through character arcs, gripes and grimaces, and sort of the season as a whole, but focusing specifically on the final episode. Before I get started, I just want to preface this by saying I am not attacking anyone who likes the show, or the season, or the episodes. If you enjoyed it, great, that's what it's there for. But there is a difference between liking something and something having good quality or bad quality. It's a whole different issue, which I'll probably get around to making a video at some point about it. Basically objective versus subjective. But for the time being, let's just agree to disagree. Right? So, let's get started, shall we? Or as they say, let's just jump into it! The first section is called Character Arcs of the Covenant. Yeah, they get worse from here on out. We'll start off with everyone's favourite blonde-haired, blue-eyed princess. Elsa. Sorry, I mean Dany. Daenerys Targaryen's entire arc throughout the entire show has been about learning how to become a good ruler and essentially kind of growing up, really. Brushing away that young naivety and learning the true hardships of ruling a kingdom and the trials and tribulations that come with it. You know, should she be merciful? Should she be tyrannical? When should she kill people? When should she not? But it's always been in favour of innocent people. Whenever she has killed people, it's because she's been protecting the ones who she feels like they should be protected and who she's doing it all for. Oh, wait, oh, what? Suddenly, her hairstylist and translator's dead. Now she's just going to murder literally like 250,000 innocent children and women and specifically target them with fire, all because... What? Oh, wait, there was a line a few seasons ago where she said she would do it with fire and blood. Cool, yeah, that justifies being a war criminal. During the course of episode 5, she wins. She wins the battle. She wins the Iron Throne, and yet she still decides to go on a mass rampage because, fuck it, I don't know, maybe she thought she could reload a save or something. It feels very rushed, very forced, and the people defending this and people saying, oh, it was foreshadowed. Well... foreshadowing doesn't equal a character arc. It can aid it, certainly, but it's not the same. Next. So, Jon Snow. Man of the people. Again, his entire arc since the very first episode has been learning about doing the right thing, being true and just, and standing up for what you believe in, even if it goes against authority. Something that he literally died for. And now, suddenly, he's defending his girlfriend just because he smashed that puss one time, and he's now saying, oh, you don't know what it's like to be a ruler, it's really fucking hard. Oh no, you don't understand, it's really hard being a ruler. Sometimes you have to kill 250,000 innocent people. She was having a bad day, leave her alone. Yeah, I don't think that excuses mass murder. He would definitely not be on board with this. He would be completely against mass genocide and breaking every single rule in the Geneva Convention, or whatever the Westeros equivalent is, ye olde Geneva-y convention-y, I don't know. And I mean, aside from the fact that his whole deal was the White Walkers and the Night King, and that's been stripped away from him because subverting expectations. So now he's just reduced to some sort of action figure with a pull string where he's got like 3 phrases. She's my queen! I don't want it. Yeah, I know, I don't know. So Jaime Lannister, he was one of my favourite characters in the show. He was just such an interesting person because he was kind of symbolic of the underlying theme of the show, which was this whole grade morality of the fact that in war there are no good people or bad people, there's just people, and people do things for their own different reasons, whether it be selfish or selfless. And he was sort of that bridge in between. As the show went on, he seemed to be a snide, conniving little fuckboy. But then, as it continued and you learn more about him, you realise that, oh no, he has his own internal turmoil and with his family, and his whole thing, the whole thing that everyone knows him for, is killing the king, even though he was sworn to protect him because he believed that it was the right thing. Kind of similar to Jon Snow's whole deal. In this episode, he's suddenly like, oh, I never really cared for the innocent. So you risked your entire life and reputation of your family to kill the king because you wanted to protect them against the innocent, but now you say you don't care. Cool story, bro. Great. You know, after saying goodbye to Brienne and literally riding off into the sunrise, I was genuinely defending it, saying, oh, you people are stupid. Why do you think he's going back to Cersei to be with her? No, he's going to kill her. That's his whole thing. He's gotten rid of that whole toxic relationship. That was the whole point of the end of season 7. So he's going to, you know, to kill her and probably die in the process. Oh no, he is actually going back to be with her. Why? What? Why? Explain this to me. I don't understand. You're not explaining things. You're just doing things and then throwing away lines and being like, oh, because of the... No! You built that up. You set that up to be a thing, and now you're going, handbrake turn. Let's go this way instead. Arya. Okay, so this is Arya's whole arc. Kill Cersei. Kill Cersei. I want to kill Cersei because she fucked up my family. I want to kill Cersei. Hey, maybe don't kill people because then revenge will make you look like me, like a weird monster man. Even though that's what I'm gonna go do anyway. Okay, cool. Maybe I won't kill Cersei after all. Bye! Bran. Oh, I don't want to be Lord of anything. I don't want to be... I'm the Three-Eyed Raven now. I'm just gonna go into your dreams and just... Also, Bran. What? Ruler of the Seven Kingdoms? Sign me up. Tyrion has just been reduced to the Pikachu meme. Just wandering around looking gormless at everything and just being kind of depressed because he keeps fucking up and making mistakes. And then decides that Bran is the one to rule because he has good stories. Yeah, because nobody else in the show has a good story. Not like Jon Snow, who was a bastard son, who was true heir to the throne, who went to Castle Black, who fought the White Walkers, who died, came back to life, and was war in the north. Nothing makes sense anymore. Okay, I'm going to get off characters because... I think I've made my point that pretty much every character in this last season had their arc destroyed. Any sense. So I'm going to go to the Jerry Halliwell section, which is basically everything that is irrelevant and could be removed and no one would care. Jon's lineage. That went nowhere and did nothing. Bronn. Why was he even there? He should have died in season 7 defending Jaime. That would have been a really good arc for him to go from the mercenary who just works for the highest bidder, who doesn't care about anything. Suddenly he does something kind of noble and earns the title which he so desperately wants. He wants to be sort of like a Lord of the Realm or a knight or whatever. And if he'd actually saved Jaime, that would have been kind of noble. And, you know, maybe in death they would have given him a good title or something. I don't know, I'm spitballing. I'm just saying they could have done literally anything else aside from him just turning up in Winterfell without any resistance and just being like, give us a castle, you cunts, and I won't shoot you. Alright, cheers. And now he's Master of Coin? The guy who doesn't understand how banks work. Was that just for the joke? Just for the lols? Are you doing this just for the memes, D&D? Is it just for the memes? Gilly being pregnant and little Sam. Sam's a maester now. Have they changed the rules? Can he be with her, or is he just still doing it in secret? Is she still just reduced to sitting in a basement, being like, looking after the kids and being able to do fuck all? Azor Ahai, or however you fucking say it, I don't know. Yeah, if you even know what that is, you'll know why it's pointless. The whole prophecy, I mean, the whole point of Jon and the Night King was that was supposed to be a whole thing, and then subversion. Yay.
Thanks, I hate it.
Bran being the three-eyed raven, it did nothing. He did nothing. He didn't help in any way. Thought it was going to, maybe help them at the Battle of Winterfell, like, as the Night King approaches. He was going to do some sick move where he, like, took over a raven and it, like, slammed into the face of the Night King, and then he's like, oh, what the fuck is this? Ah! Maybe Jon runs up and kicks him in the balls, and then goes, winter is gone, and then cuts his head off. Something like that. I don't know. Anything is better than what they came at. And why does Bran need a Master of Whisperers? He can see everything. Although I suppose he's not putting it to any use. He's not doing anything with it anyway. Oh, fucking no. Arya and her face swapping ability. That really came in handy, didn't it? Could have used that in a whole range of situations. They spent like 2 seasons setting that whole fucking thing up and then just never uses it again. That's a pretty cool ability and pretty useful. Maybe you want to use it? Okay, so this next section is called I Got Nits and I Need to Pick 'em. Otherwise known as nitpicking. A lot of people poo-poo this and say, oh, it's just small things, why are you nitpicking? It does matter. The little things add up, and especially in world building when it comes to fantasy and sci-fi shows, these things, they take you out of the show if they're not present or if they're contradictory. And I don't know, it doesn't make them any less wrong. Fuck you. Tyrion finds Jaime and Cersei, fairly perfectly preserved considering they had half a ton of rubble fall on them. They would just be jam at this point. But in the last episode, we see the entire catacombs cave in, and now suddenly it's just like little neat piles. Did they rebuild it? Did they rebuild it in the 2 hours it took for Tyrion to walk all the way to the Red Keep? Also, how did he set that torch on fire? How did he light that torch? Even if he had like a flint and steel, what's he using for his fuel? That scene where Jon leaves Grey Worm playing Duck Duck killed the Lannister soldiers, and then immediately Grey Worm is at the top of the stairs waiting for him. There's a look on Jon's face where it's like, what? Like, how did he get there? Although I suppose actually maybe that's why he was killing the soldiers in the first place, because everyone knows you can't fast travel when enemies are nearby. Thank you, I'm here all week. So there's been a lot of talk about the ash, whether it's ash or snow. I inferred it to be ash. I thought that was the whole point, because she just raised the city and then that was the ash cloud. But a lot of people were saying it was snow. The fact that people didn't know what it was is kind of an issue within itself. But also, I don't think ash should be that white. It should have been grayer. That's all they needed to do. This is what I mean, like nitpicking. Oh, they're just small things. Well, if they're small things, why can't they fucking change them? Why can't they do it better? If it's that easy, just make the ash a little grayer. And then it saves a lot of confusion. Also, how the hell did Drogon get covered in the stuff? How is he that covered that quickly? And what was the point of that scene? Jon walks up and he comes out of the ash. And he's like, oh, it's you. So I was taking a nap. Nothing makes sense anymore. So, Grey Worm literally has an erection. Not even kidding. There's a shot in the show where Grey Worm, he got his dick back. He got his mojo back, baby. Right there. Center screen. I know it's not an easy thing to cover up. I know I have trouble sometimes. It just shows they don't even care at this point. They just don't give a shit. Oh my god, Brienne. Brienne, you should know how to write in a book with ink. You don't slam it shut after you've literally just finished. That thing is smudged now. No one's ever going to be able to read it. You've spent all this time talking about how brilliant Jaime was. And now, when people come to read it, like, oh, let's read all about Jaime Lannister. What were his... I can't read this. I think someone took a shit on the page. Okay, this isn't really continuity, but I want to talk about it anyway. Jon finally giving that good boy a good pat was just fan service, because he didn't... If he really loved that dog, he would have done it before. He wouldn't have just ignored it. Why is he doing it now? Also, I'm fairly certain that is a shot from season 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. Even if it's not, he should have given that boy a pat the first time. This does not make up for it. You pat that good boy. He is a good doggo, and he deserves all the love in the world. Okay, so that leads me on to a final segment, which is just shit that don't make sense. I can't be asked coming up with a clever title for this because they couldn't be asked making this shit make sense. So there you go. So Drogon's apparently a wild animal who destroys innocent livestock and children, yet he understands the symbolic significance of a throne in regards to an autocratic rule, and so decides to destroy it. Or did he just think the chair killed his mummy because she had a knife in her and the chair was made of knives? We'll never know, because he flew off into the fucking sunset. So Sam has the balls to suggest the idea of democracy. Ha 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 ha! What a fucking idiot! Ha 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 ha! 30 seconds later. Oh yeah, let's all democratically vote in who should be the next ruler. Also, why is Yara laughing at him? That's what the King's Moot is. That's what your whole, you know... It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Also, Sansa's the only one who's allowed to have her own kingdom. I thought that's what everyone wanted. Yara literally says that's what she's been promised, and that's what she wants. And so suddenly Sansa's the only one? Why, when she said it, didn't everyone else go, hey, if she gets her own kingdom, I want one as well. Yeah, I want my kingdom. Yeah, give me my kingdom. I want to be independent. Well, I suppose she has to get something because she's a strong female character and she's badass, even though she did nothing this season. Grey Worm literally tells Tyrion to shut the fuck up because he's a prisoner and he shouldn't be talking. And then the next time he talks, he just ignores him and allows him to basically resolve the situation and come to a compromise, even though all they want to do is just kill Jon Snow. Why haven't they killed him already? Why are they even bothering keeping him prisoner? Surely they should just kill him. Either them or the Dothraki, they would not stand for their leader being slain. It don't make no sense. I just want things to make sense. Is that really so hard to do? Is that so much of an ask? Lose my fucking mind here. So Jon's been assigned to lord over Castle Black again. Is he Castle Black? The Night's Watch. Whatever that castle is. I'm fairly certain it's Castle Black. Correct me if I'm wrong, future me. But the whole point of the Night's Watch was to protect the North. But the White Walkers are gone, and the Wildlings are now peaceful, because all they wanted was land south of the wall so they could actually cultivate it, because it's really difficult up north. So why does the Night's Watch still exist? Because there's no threat anymore. There's nothing there. And why do the Wildlings want to go back north? Several of their leaders died trying to push through the wall to go south because they just wanted better land. Oh, but there's suddenly a plant that grows out through the snow, so maybe it's going to be fine. Maybe the snow will go, in which case, what the fuck happened to Winter is Coming? The literal tagline of the show. Was that just because of the Night King? Are the seasons controlled by various different kings? Is the next spin-off series going to be about Arya killing the Sun King and the Spring King and the Autumn King? This is a general gripe for the series in total, because they keep doing this, but they've been doing this a lot the last season.
Armor means nothing anymore.
Jorah Mormont and Theon Greyjoy are literally stabbed through plate with a knife and a piece of wood. I don't know if anyone watching this knows much about armor, but let me tell you, it is impossible to pierce through plate. Even with like a really, 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 really sharp sword. You need the force of a fucking car in order to pierce that shit, and even if you do, you should be wearing chainmail and a gambeson underneath at the very least. They literally have a scene, like in the first or second series, where Jorah wins a fight because he uses his armor. Somebody attacks him and they get stuck in his armor and then he just stabs them. How can they forget these things? At this point, this isn't nitpicking, this isn't small things. Characters die because armor doesn't work properly. Why is anyone even wearing it in the first place if it doesn't work? And if it does, then why are you showing this shit? Have them be stabbed in the head if you want to kill them off. Like, it's small things, but it makes a difference. It really fucking annoys me. You're breaking the rules of your own universe. It's lazy, and it's pointless. Which is what happens when you try and stab plate armor. So, those are all my gripes. Kind of. There might be more. I don't know. I've probably forgotten stuff, but this show has just... it's melted my brain. Thanks for sticking around for my first kind of video thing. I might be doing more of these in the future. I don't know, I'm going to toy around with it. Feel free to put any feedback in the comments below. If you disagree with me, if you like the video, if you didn't like the video, if you whatever. Even if you just want to have a chat and just talk about your day. Just tell me what kind of sandwich you had for lunch. You know, put it in the comments. I won't read it, but put it in there anyway. So I guess I'll see you guys next time. Check out my other videos, like, comment, subscribe. And like they say in Game of Thrones, we kind of forgot. Okay, bye.